What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Motors and Mischief. Today we are continuing to work on our 1997 Jeep Grand Cherokee that I bought for $1,000 for my youngest daughter Sam. We've got a ton of stuff done on this. We did a replacement transmission for it, so it's running great with the transmission. Since when we got it, the transmission didn't work. We did a door lock for it. We did a bunch of stuff in the interior, new center console. Took the grill guard off of it that was on the front, and then while we've been doing, and we did a complete all new cooling system, basically including the front cover seal, everything on the front end was been resealed. So you can go back and check those videos out if you haven't seen them yet. But today what we're going to do is some suspension components. I believe this is our fourth video, but in the meantime, Sam has been working very hard on detailing the Jeep and getting it all ready. You can see she painted the trim. She blacked out all the trim. Looks super awesome. That's with the plastic dip, and that came out great. Same with her wheels. I think those look really nice. Really updated look of the stock wheels. So those will do until we can afford to buy some either new ones or get these powder coated, depending on what we're going to do. But for right now, it was a good way to check the look and make sure that it looked good. Because if we didn't like it, we just peeled up the dip coat off of it. So today we are working on the suspension. It has a busted end link, which it's completely broken in half, and it has a huge clunk coming from the front suspension whenever you go over bumps. I have had end links make a lot of noise on 3 different Jeeps, and replacing or fixing the end links, in this case we know it needs it because it's broken in half. It also causes a host of other problems, so we're going to do that. We're also going to put a front track bar in it because I know this one is in need of replacement, and it's way easier to put a whole new track bar in it than it is to put the new bushings in it because it's really hard to get them apart. So we're just going to replace that entire thing. So what we're going to do, check out the parts we've got. We've got some pretty sweet parts here. We got this complete track bar from Moog, and I'm really excited about it because it is got all new bushings and everything. We'll show you that when we get it out of there. The other thing we got are these upgraded end links. These are actually super cool. Not only do they come with polyurethane bushings, but this came with a Zerk fitting, which is greasable. So we actually got these off of Rock Auto, and they were about half of the cheap ones that we could get at our local parts store. So there's one out of the box, and there's one still in the box. We're going to go ahead and get those installed. So we're going to jack up the Jeep to make the track bar easier to change. I don't think we need to pull the wheels because I don't think we need to get them out of the way to get to any of the stuff. But I do want to get it off the ground because it'll make it a lot easier to change this track bar if the axle is free. And we need alignment for this thing anyway, so we will try to match up the track bar to the existing everything, but obviously it's got to go in for alignment anyway. So yeah, that's it, guys. Let's get to work.
Dad, this jack is tilting. Dear God.
All right, guys, now that we got the Jeep up, let me show you what's going on with the end link here. So we're going to do those first, and normally it's not quite that obvious what needs to be replaced. But in this case, the Jeep helped us out and told us exactly what we needed. So we're going to go ahead and pull the old ones out, put the new ones in.
What to do, I count to 3 when you're next to me. I love you, what to do now? Only problem is I love you, what to do? You got me bound, make my world spin round. I love you, what to do now? Cause the problem is I love you. What to do, I count to 3 when you're next to me. I love you, what to do now? Only problem is I love you, what to do? You got me bound, make my world spin round. I love you, what to do now? Cause the problem is I love you.
Alright guys, we got it out. As you can see, this is the broken one. As you saw, we needed to put a little bit of heat on it. We've actually had to use the heat trick a couple times on this Jeep. Off camera, we have put new O2 sensors in it, and somebody cross-threaded the crap out of the rear one So we had to put some heat on that, and we were able to get it out. I actually put it on the front one too, and got it out. So just a little tip, if you're having problems getting old stuff off, some of this stuff's I think been on here for 25 years, a little bit of heat will actually sometimes just break everything loose and do wonders. Just be careful you don't put it on stuff that can catch on fire, and always have a fire extinguisher close by. Okay, so this one, this is about 9 million degrees, so I'm holding it with the pliers, but you can see right here, this used to go inside there, and that's how the ball joint was able to work around. But these are not the greasable kind, so the grease went away probably when the boot got destroyed, and then it just got rusty until it popped out of there. So the new ones are greasable, so we'll go ahead and make sure that we put the Zerk fittings on, and they're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and put the Zerk fitting on right here, and then we're going to install these. So this is the driver, and then we'll do the passenger. All right, let's go. Okay guys, so we got the Zerk fitting in, so that's all ready to go. It came pre-greased from the factory, but this is so that we can grease it up in the future. And it even stopped pointing in a decent direction. Last one of these I did, it stopped pointing straight up, and it was impossible to get to, but at least it's on there. So the other thing that I like to do is I like to just put a little bit of grease inside this, so that when the bolt goes through here, it's just not totally dry. So we'll put a little bit of grease in there, and then on this, we'll put a little bit of thread locker, so it stays in place, although a little bit of rust we got on the end here is probably going to do that job well, but we'll put it up here where the new bolt is. It did come with a new bolt and a new washer, so I'm sorry, a new nut and a new washer. I guess I'm channeling Jake. And then we also got a new nut for the top of it. So anyway, we'll put thread locker on this as well. So let's get this installed. Alright guys, we got the inlinks on, so check it out. They came out really nice, they look really good.
Anyway.
Okay, now that those are in, time to put the track bar on. So we pulled our brand new track bar out. There's a bolt on this side, and there is a castle nut on this side with a cotter pin. Unfortunately, on the Grand Cherokees, this is up inside a metal bracket that kind of holds it down off the bottom of the frame, and then the nut kind of sits inside. So it's quite a pistol to get to. But we're going to go ahead and get that out of there. We got the front of the Jeep raised up to try to give us as much room as possible to be able to get in there. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and pull that off. So that's next. Let's go. Alright guys, so this was a little bit tough. So that is the castle nut that we were trying to get out, or that we're trying to get out, and this is the cotter key that was in there. So it was quite the deal to get that out of there. So if you're trying to do this, it is definitely possible. It's just not easy. You just got to get up here and keep working and working and working, and eventually it'll get out of there. But yeah, that was tough. Got it. All right. That was a bit more of a fight than I was expecting. However, you can see that this is definitely worn out. That bushing has definitely seen better days. And most telling, we can move this around by hand, which you should definitely not be able to do that. You notice on our new one, it's nice and stiff. Can't move that at all. So this is definitely junk. It's good that we're replacing it, because that will absolutely help with death wobble and lots of other suspension problems. So, okay, when we pulled out the old nut, flag nut and bolt that holds, this part holds to the axle, the bolt was pretty chewed up, and so was the flag nut, and the flag nut was somewhat rusty. So we cleaned and painted that, so it's good to go, and we chased the threads on this and on this so they go together really smooth like. So that's good. So we're going to put that back in, and then we'll adjust this back into place. New capsule nut and brand new cotter key. So those are going to go back in next. Let's go.
Cause the problem is I love you. What to do? I count to three when you're next to me. I love you. What to do now? Only problem is I love you. What to do? You got me bound, make my world spin round. I love you. What to do now? Cause the problem is I love you. What to do? I count to three when you're next to me. I love you. What to do now? Only problem is I love you. What to do? You got me bound, make my world spin round. I love you. What to do now? Cause the problem is I love you. What to do? I count to three when you're next to me. I love you. What to do now? Only problem is I love you. Cause the problem is I love you. Cause the problem is I love you.
Okay guys, we are on our way up to the muffler shop. This thing's catalytic converter is shot. Sounds like there's a whole bunch of rocks inside it when you bang on it, and while the Jeep's idling we can hear stuff shaking around in there. So there's a great muffler shop just north of where we live, so we're headed up there now. We're a little concerned about the Jeep making it up there because it's not happy. We had to Okay, let me back up. So it has two O2 sensors. Both of them were throwing codes. So we went ahead and we got new O2 sensors for it. Put the front one in, no problem. The back one was stripped, and it needs, we couldn't not get the new O2 sensor in. And unfortunately, I had cut the wires to the old one to get it out. So now we have no rear O2 sensor. We've actually got the old one shoved into the hole so that there's not an exhaust leak. But the Jeep is clearly pissed off about not having the O2 sensor. So at the moment, other than the check engine light being on, it is running fantastic. So it's warmed up, so it's in closed loop. It's either using BlockLearn for that O2 sensor, or I don't know, but we'll take it. So I know it's supposed to run just fine without that rear O2 sensor, but we were having some problems the other day, so who knows. We'll take it. We did fix a loose ground, or a missing ground, a broken ground on the engine yesterday, which maybe was what was causing the problems earlier. But either way, we're on our way. It's like a 15-minute drive up to the exhaust shop, so we're going there now, and I'll show you guys when we get there. All right, see you there. All right guys, we're at the muffler shop. Check it out. They already did the work on the Jeep. It is all done. Got it parked right over here. Got a brand new catalytic converter, which Colorado just changed their laws, so we got a California regulations catalytic converter in there. And we got a MagnaFlow muffler. So let's fire it up and see what it sounds like. Alright guys, that's it. We are all done. So the steering components are all on. The new exhaust system is on. Jeep's running fantastic. It sounds wonderful. So we're going to go ahead and wrap up the video right there. Hey, thanks guys so much for all the support. We really appreciate the comments and the likes and the subscribes. So in that spirit, like, subscribe, and give us a comment. We're sure appreciate it. So Mischief Mafia, thanks so much for watching. Peace. All right, guys. So we got the when we pulled out. We start over. Right on set. Try Jake's method where you sit Indian style, cross-legged in front of it, and then lift, pressing your elbows against your knees. Yep, and then he just lifts with his shoulders.
Jake is built like a tank.
Well, he says it's easier.
I think he's lying. Nope. My Jeep suspension is too good for this.
Okay, guys, that's it. We're all done with the suspension, and nope, we're not. Didn't do any suspension. We're done with steering.